rising today. No limits, no fear. Hustling hard, we're here.
Hey everyone, senior living options in Richmond. It can feel pretty overwhelming, like with over 90 assisted living communities just in this area alone.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So we're taking a deep dive today into Dowda Senior Consultants.
Okay.
We're looking at their website and just figuring out how they help make this process smoother. They say they are for seniors, for Richmond, for good.
Right.
So we'll see if they live up to that.
I think one of the most interesting things here is that they're not just like a referral service.
Yeah.
They really emphasize their expertise, local expertise,
Yes.
and their personalized approach.
Absolutely. I was looking at this section on their website called Walking This Road Alone versus Walking with Our Team.
Right.
And it really made me think about how much stress they could take off your plate.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine having to tour and compare all those different communities?
Oh my gosh, no.
By yourself? Especially if you don't know what questions to ask. Dowda is like your personal guide, you know? They know the Richmond senior living landscape like the back of their hand, and they can really help you avoid some of those common pitfalls like choosing a place just because it looks fancy.
Or based on one person's isolated experience.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's break down their process. It starts with discovery.
Okay.
And it seems to go beyond filling out just a basic form.
Oh, absolutely. This first consultation is all about figuring out what you truly need and what you want. You know, they really dig deep to get a sense of your unique situation. What are your goals? What are your concerns? What are your preferences when it comes to location or budget? It's all about painting a complete picture, not just ticking off boxes.
I love that. So then there's the decision phase where Dowda helps you navigate your options.
Yeah, so that could mean helping you figure out how to stay in your own home as you
Age in place.
Yeah, age in place. Or going with you on tours of senior living communities, whatever's right for you. They offer advice and support the whole way through.
That's great. And this is what I think is really impressive. Their support doesn't just end there.
Right.
Once you've made a decision, they have this whole action and follow-up phase. What does that look like?
Well, you know, moving or any kind of transition can be hard, so they're there for you through the whole thing. They help you settle in, they provide ongoing advocacy, and they even bring you birthday cakes.
Wait, birthday cake.
Birthday cakes.
That's so fun.
Right. I think it shows that they are really committed to building relationships with their clients.
Absolutely. So it's not just about finding a place, but fostering a sense of community.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of specialized support, they also offer services for people who are facing a dementia diagnosis.
That's right. And they have a whole team of dementia experts. Because getting a diagnosis like that can be really isolating.
For the individual and for their families.
Absolutely. And so they offer guidance and support every step of the way.
So they're not just helping you in the present, they're also helping you plan for the future.
Exactly.
Now, I also see that Dowda really emphasizes working with partners in the community.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of what makes them different. You know, they partner with local organizations, healthcare providers, and they can connect you with all sorts of resources that go way beyond just senior living.
It sounds like a real safety net.
It is. Things like transportation services or meal deliveries or even social activities.
So it's like they're a hub, connecting you to a whole ecosystem of care.
Exactly.
So we've seen that Dowda has this really comprehensive approach to senior living in Richmond.
Yeah.
And they seem really committed to ongoing support, which is so important.
It is. They're not just helping you find a place to live. They're walking alongside you every step of the way, helping you advocate for your needs and connect with the resources that allow you to live your best life.
Exactly. Now, what does all of this mean for you, our listener? We'll get into that in the next part of our deep dive. But for now, we want you to think about what's important to you as you imagine the future.
Yeah.
What aspects of senior living matter most to you or your loved ones? Is it about community, access to health care, maintaining your independence? Whatever your priorities are, remember there's a team out there dedicated to helping you navigate this whole journey.
And Dowda really gets that you are the expert on your own life.
Yes.
And they're there to help you make that vision a reality.
So stay tuned because there is so much more to uncover as we continue our deep dive into Dowda Senior Consultants.
We're going to explore more about their approach to dementia care.
Yes.
And how they go above and beyond to support individuals and their families.
See you in the next part.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Dowda Senior Consultants. So we've been talking about how they're kind of changing the way we think about senior living here in Richmond.
Right.
And I think we should dig a little deeper into their expertise. One of the things that impressed me was how they address some of those common misconceptions that people have about senior living.
Oh, yeah, like that feeling of, I am so lost.
Totally.
There's just so many options when it comes to assisted living.
Right.
I felt that way with my parents when they started needing more support.
It's like you're at the bottom of this mountain,
Yes.
right? You're like, how do I even begin?
Right.
But Dowda just gets that, They're like, we get it. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do this alone. And instead of letting you waste your time
Right.
touring all those communities that aren't even a good fit for you, they use their knowledge of what's available locally to really help you pinpoint those best options
That's such a relief.
based on what you actually need and want.
Right. It's like having that friend
Yeah.
that really knows all the ins and outs of the Richmond senior living scene.
Right.
But it's more than just having a local guide, right? They really seem to go above and beyond.
Oh, absolutely. One thing that really sets Dowda apart is that they actually stay connected to the families they've worked with.
Oh, wow.
And they get personal updates from residents in the communities. So it's not just based on some brochure or a website.
Right. It's like you're getting insider info.
Yeah.
It's not a sales pitch.
Right.
It's actual insight from people who've lived the experience.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of real talk,
Yeah.
they also talk about that misconception that you're on your own if you get a dementia diagnosis.
Right. And this is where their support for dementia care really makes a difference. Remember that team of dementia experts that we mentioned before?
Yes.
Well, they don't just give you generic advice. They walk you through every step.
Yeah.
From understanding the different stages
Right.
to creating a care plan that meets your loved one's specific needs.
It's about being proactive instead of reactive.
Exactly. And they don't just focus on the practical stuff
No.
either. They also provide emotional support and resources for the caregivers.
Because that's so important. Caregiving can be incredibly demanding.
Yeah, physically and emotionally.
It's good to know that Dowda recognizes that
Absolutely.
and offers that extra layer of support. You know something else that I was thinking about? Dowda doesn't just work with people who are ready to move into a community.
Right.
They also help people explore options for aging in place,
That's a great point.
which I know is really important to a lot of folks.
Oh, yeah. For many people, staying in their homes is a top priority.
It is.
And Dowdas can help you figure out if that's a good option for you
Mm-hmm.
and what kind of modifications might be necessary
Right, to make your home safe.
to make it comfortable as you age.
Exactly. So it's about creating that personalized plan that lets you keep your independence
Exactly.
and your quality of life for as long as possible.
They can connect you with the right contractors. They can recommend home care services, even help you with the financial side of aging in place.
Wow, so they really are a one-stop shop for everything you need.
Pretty much.
It's great to know that a resource like Dowda exists,
Yeah.
whether you're just starting to think about senior living communities
Right.
or looking into ways to age in place.
Mm-hmm.
They can really be your guide on that journey. And of course, their motto, for seniors, for Richmond, for good.
Right.
They're not just in this for the business side of things. They really seem committed to making a difference in the lives of seniors and their families.
Absolutely. And that goes beyond just their clients, too. I know Dowda is really involved in making sure that Richmond is a better place for seniors to live, like working on affordable housing or age-friendly community design.
So they're really a part of that bigger conversation
Definitely.
about how we can all better support our aging population.
That's what we'll explore in the final part of our deep dive. We're going to talk about Dowda's community partnerships.
Yes.
And how they're working to create this more inclusive and supportive environment for all seniors in Richmond.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
How many calls have you missed today? Every unanswered call is a lost customer. Meet Engage Voice, your AI-powered voice assistant that answers calls, engages customers, and books appointments 24/7. Instantly respond to every call. Schedule appointments automatically. Turn missed calls into business opportunities. See it in action. Visit EngageEvoice.com for a free demo. Engage eVoice, because every call could be your next big deal.
Welcome back, everyone. So we've been talking about all the things that make Dowda Senior Consultants so unique. And now it's time to see how they impact the entire Richmond community.
This is where their motto really shines through that. For seniors, for Richmond, for good.
Mm-hmm.
It's about more than just finding a place to live.
Right.
It's about having that whole network of care and resources that
Yeah.
makes seniors feel supported and valued.
Absolutely. Now, I'm curious about These community partnerships they talk about, what kind of organizations do they work with?
Oh, all sorts. Healthcare providers, senior centers, faith-based organizations, you name it.
Wow.
They're really creating this tapestry of support that touches so many different parts of a senior's life.
So it's really about connecting to a whole ecosystem of care,
Mm-hmm.
which I imagine makes a huge difference for seniors who are maybe feeling isolated or just overwhelmed.
Absolutely. Let's say you need help getting to a doctor's appointment,
Right.
or you're looking for some social activities. Dowda can connect you to transportation services, meal delivery programs, support groups. I mean, there's so many options.
It's amazing. They really are that one-stop shop.
Yeah,
But with these deep roots in Richmond,
exactly.
and I imagine by working with so many different groups,
Yeah.
they're able to stay on top of the latest resources and practices.
Oh, for sure. That's one of the best things about working with so many different partners.
Yeah.
They're always learning and growing, making sure their clients have the best possible information and support. And they're also really involved in advocating for better senior care here in Richmond.
Yeah, I saw that they're working on initiatives for affordable housing
Mm-hmm.
and age-friendly design.
So they're not just serving seniors, they're shaping the whole conversation about how we can create a more supportive and inclusive environment as we age.
It's a really holistic approach, which is so great to see.
It really is. You know, they're proving that you can navigate all of this with compassion, expertise, and a real commitment to the community.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Dowda Senior Consultants, I'm really feeling hopeful
Yeah,
because they've shown us that this can be a time of life that you approach with confidence,
absolutely.
knowing that there's a team there to support you every step of the way.
And for those of us who aren't quite there yet,
Right.
it's a great reminder to start thinking about the future and how we can create that community where everybody feels valued and respected.
That's a wonderful thought to end on. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into Dowda Senior Consultants.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We hope you found it helpful and inspiring. And remember, you don't have to navigate this journey alone.
There are resources out there.
Until next time, keep exploring.
Big moves, bold plays, local legends rising today. No limits, no fear.